Hi everyone, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. Well, it seems that Frogmore Cottage has been central to King Charles's plan for sorting out the monarchy and the problems within. It's reported today that right after the publication of Harry's book Spare, Prince Charles has formally evicted them from Frogmore Cottage. He's giving them a little bit of time, I think, to finish removing anything of their own that they've got there. But they're out, and it doesn't look like they can fight it. So they'll no longer have a home in Britain. But I mean, then again, Harry's come out and said, the States are my home. This is it. I don't know that I can ever go back to Britain. So he's already declared it. Now, in the future, this is going to be interesting to see how this affects his court case for all the security. It's going to be very interesting to see how this may affect him tax-wise and status-wise, in the States, as far as is he going to have to take up residency, become a citizen, this kind of thing, and what it's going to do. So those are all interesting things to watch. But looks like Charles has ousted them. So you don't want to be here? We're going to take this away from you. And the interesting thing that he's done, even I think it was last week, we started seeing stories that Charles was going to be reducing the amount, or removing it completely, the amount of the stipend that Andrew receives from the Duchy of Lancaster, which I believe was about £250,000 a year, and £250,000 a year from the Duchy of Lancaster, which he used, upgrades on Royal Lodge, among other things. And Charles came out last week and said that he was no longer going to be getting it. And Andrew's friends and spokespeople have said, he's very worried about losing Royal Lodge because he may not be able to afford the upkeep. And he's fighting to keep Royal Lodge. The Queen had allowed him a 75-year lease on it. So, and then with the provision, all he had to pay was the equivalent of about $800 a month rent for it. And keep in mind, this is a 30-room mansion, a palace really, with a swimming pool and 98 acres of land. So, it's a vast, vast estate on its own. And King Charles, doesn't feel that a disgraced prince of the realm deserves it. So he's cut off his Duchy of Lancaster stipend and said, sorry, pal, you're on your own. And apparently what's come out as well today is that after he ousted Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage, that he offered it to Andrew. Now we know that Sarah, Duchess of York, still lives with Andrew at Royal Lodge. They share the space, a lot of space, but even Frogmore Cottage, it is 5 bedrooms. It has beautiful grounds. It's on the Windsor estate, so they'll still have all the protection and privacy and all that they've grown accustomed to, but it's not a vast palatial estate, which Andrew has been living in for years. And, this is the thing. They think they're entitled. Him and Harry both, their actions, what they say and what they do, are just a result of both of them having that completely entitled nature. Harry figures he can do and say whatever he wants, and he should still have every advantage, have every protection, have every ounce of respect because he's royal. And same with Andrew. He figures he can do and say whatever he wants, and he should be allowed to live however he wants, and nobody should say no to him. This is just the entitled. So apparently, Charles has told him, you can have Frogmore, and Andrew's not real happy about that, to go from 98 acres, 30-room palace to a 5-bedroom house. That's like kicking him onto the street as far as he's concerned. Keep in mind, a few months ago, Fergie bought I believe, $6 million house in, not Mayfair, I'm trying to remember. Anyway, one of the posh neighborhoods in central London. She's got this lovely big townhouse there now, which apparently the money for the house was put up by her daughters, and there's actually a provision on the house that Fergie can't sell it without their approval and signatures. So she can't turn it over for quick cash, her or Andrew. But, there you go. She's got a place to live if she ever leaves Andrew's residence. The two of them could have a place to live if they are ultimately ousted from Royal Lodge and refuse to move into Frogmore Cottage. They do have a residence in central London, so, he's not going to be destitute, Andrew, but he's not going to be happy, and I can see him fighting to keep Royal Lodge, because for him, it's more than just a house. It's the status. He's living in, one of the largest homes on the Windsor estate. I mean, it's a palace in itself. So he doesn't want to lose that status. He's lost all his other status and royal standing and patronages and everything else. So this would be a big blow to him. But it looks like Charles, whom we've all been saying, oh man, you gotta do something, what's going on? You gotta put your foot down. And it looks like he's been doing that quietly behind the scenes. So it'll be very interesting now in the light of this to see if Harry and Meghan actually do show up for the coronation, how this affects their security and his court case surrounding that, and how it affects their future in the United States. These are all things that we can watch and see what happens. Well, I hope you liked it. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you're thinking. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.